with 2 or 3 Division I prospects on that defensive line almost dominate that second half, and that really was the difference. So it's going to be up to the offensive line to give Gerlich the protection, run when you can, and really come out on top for Anderson. But we also need to mention the Anderson defense, which of late has really come on strong, almost pitching a shutout last week against Lehman. But the linebacker core, we came out in a 4-3, which was a new look with the 3 linebackers, Gage Webb moving out to the outside, Hodges Smith in the middle, and of course Liam McMillan, the captain, on the other outside. We'll see probably both looks. I went to Pop Warner practice for my youngest this week, and Coach Hatcher's son is on another 12U team, and he came over and he said, look for a lot of trick plays this week. So it'll be interesting to see what we see out here in terms of using a trick play when it matters, and then obviously the key, making it work.
It's going to be the big thing, and I think we're going to see, you mentioned trick plays. Every coaching staff is going to utilize them in different ways, and they'll lean on them throughout the course of the game. It's not something that we're probably, I would expect to see maybe early. Maybe you see one before halftime. But as the game really gets into the later stages, and as long as you can keep it close, you start really relying a little bit on some of those trick plays to catch them off guard.
Absolutely. And as we pause for the national anthem, this is the radio game, the Anderson alma mater. This is the ESPN radio broadcast of the week, and we will let the Anderson Trojan band play while we cut off for radio commercials. Again, thank you all our radio listeners on 102.7 FM, ESPN Austin. This is the Vype.com Game of the Week. Also being simulcasted on radio. Apologies in advance for a sloppy TV play-by-play, but we'll do the best we can. Again, I've got a true pro with me, and oh my God, Coach Napoli walking right in front of the video screen. Assistant head coach Napoli. I bet he's relieved he doesn't have to call plays this year.
Probably a nice feeling. Take some of that stress off you.
Absolutely.
And you can scapegoat somebody else, too, if things don't go your way.
You can. And it's good to have another set of eyes in that offensive play room, because usually, and again, Coach Counter is doing an awesome job as the OC this year calling plays, but having a sage veteran like Coach Napoli to bounce ideas off and things like that. Obviously, Coach Hatcher coming over as the defensive coordinator for Little Elm 3 years ago, more of a defensive-minded coach, working with defensive coordinator Coach Holcomb. But it's good to have Coach Knapp working with Coach Counter. And really this coaching staff, there's been such a sync in these last 3 years. Again, selfishly, you've got a lot of juniors in this class all playing together in this Anderson program under Coach Hatcher, having him as the leader of this program for the last 3 years. It's been exciting. Continuity in a program helps.
It's a big deal, right? And it's one of those things you talk about, you see it at all stages, right? It's not just at a high school level, it's not just at a collegiate level, that having that steady voice in the room matters from a development standpoint, matters from the play calling. Like we said, keeping everything in sync all the way through the staff, from the offense to the defense, special teams, having that one voice, that consistent voice, makes such a difference.
Yeah, definitely, because, you see it at every program, like you said, when the kids who've been in the program know what's expected of them, know what to do, how to practice, how the coaches expect them to practice, it makes things go a lot smoother. You have a lot less teaching time and a lot more reps out there, which you've seen it from this team this year. Here come the Trojans, looking to put a little Trojo on these Hendrickson Hawks tonight. This is a huge 5A battle for this district. We've seen it, a lot of excitement, a huge Trojan crowd here tonight from House Park in downtown Austin. There's not a better venue in sports.
Not at the high school level, I would argue. The scenic downtown view behind us here. Able to look up, take a look around, can see the Capitol building from our vantage point.
It's every time I come here, it never gets old. And it's history. A lot of great games have been played in this venue, and I know the kids love coming downtown to play in this game. Obviously, House Park, home stadium for Austin High, Anderson, as well as McCallum. But a great venue here tonight for this big game. I think everybody knows on this pink out night what's expected of them and what the Trojans need to do to keep this race alive in this 5A district. I'm a little pumped, David.
Not a better game to be
Not
pumped for.
Not a better game. I mean, this is fun. This Anderson team's been battle tested. They opened with 2 of the top 10 teams in the state and were in the game well into the third quarter, and obviously came out and did what they had to do against Lehman. But it will be interesting here. This is the first kind of differentiator test the Trojans will have midway through this district play. Again, your Trojan captains coming out on the field right now. Ed Small, number 18. Max Gerlich, number 3. Tristan Wadelick, 4 touchdowns last week, number 1. Jaden Evans, the center, 53. And behind them, Liam McMillan, Colin Haynes, Zayden Sharp, and Gage Webb. Hendrickson will be calling the toss.
Anderson, Christian Whiteley, Max Gerlich, Ed Small, and Jaden Evans.
Did I miss the signal?
I guess. I haven't seen the signal yet either.
It looked like he walked around the Anderson player, but I didn't see a defer. Anderson the last 2 weeks has elected to receive and put that high-powered offense out on the field early on. As all we have is the national anthem, and then we are ready for Friday night football. We'll leave it right here. That's your Anderson Band, pride of Northwest Austin, with the national anthem, and we are ready for kickoff. It's a big one.
Let's get ready for the football.
House Park on a Friday night. Here we go.
No better place to be.
No better place to be. And Trojans will be receiving. There's Nathan Sharp, deep man. Obviously, they like to slide Ed Small up there as an up back. See if they can get one of those pooch kicks, make a mistake, kick it to Ed. A lot of talent in this return team for Anderson. So Hendrickson will kick. Anderson will be moving right to the left on your screen. We are almost set to go for some Friday night 5A district football. Check that. Anderson will move left to right. I shouldn't have said anything. Hey, the minute I try to do too much,
well,
they flip it on me.
I think they flipped it on Anderson too, because when they came out of the coin toss, they were facing in the opposite direction on both sides.
That's exactly right. Maybe Hendrickson had a last-minute change of plans. And as you see, Ed Small just flipped with Ben Hatcher. So we'll see if we have another. And then the Hendrickson kicker's moving over to the other side. It looks to be some sort of a pooch that will likely go to Ben Hatcher. And here's the kick. We're underway. It is a pooch kick. And Ben Hatcher will make a fair catch right there at the 30-yard line. Trojans offense will set up shop there. We'll see Trojans moving up tempo all season long. We'll see. We've seen varying degrees against College Station and A&M Consolidated. Tended to slow it down. We'll see how fast they move against Hendrickson tonight. Here's Gerlich. He's going to give it up the middle to Jay Fulmer. Jay's going to have about 4 yards. Jay Fulmer, the sophomore, his second start of the year at running back for the Trojans.
Jay Fulmer on the run. Taking down number 12.
Here's Gerlich. He's going to keep it himself, cuts back. He's going to lean forward and be about a yard short of the first down on the zone read. It's going to be 3rd and 1. Trojans are going to move quickly on this 3rd and 1 at the 39 of Anderson. Gerlich, give to Fulmer. He's going to bounce through. He's going to have the first down and a few more. So first down Trojans on 3 runs of the football.
Yeah, Fulmer. That run is good enough for a Trojan. Right down.
All right, first down Trojans. Gerlich out of the shotgun, looking to throw. Has time, looking, fires it, got it, Small! It's Small down the sidelines and pushed out of bounds, but not after a huge gain by Small, all the way down to the Hendrickson 25-yard line. Absolute dime by Max Gerlich and a running catch by Small. That's that combination we talked about before the game. Free play, but I think it's going to be the encroachment kind that stops it.
Get a few nice runs, and then you find Small coming across. A little bit of a late window throw, how close he was to the sideline, but credit Small, able to turn upfield and pick up a little bit extra after the grab.
Yeah, that's where he's dangerous. Looked like he had double coverage, and just that extra time allowed him to get that open. All right, 1st and 5 Trojans from the Hendrickson 24-yard line. They're going to give it to Fulmer, running wide, turns it up and gets about 3 yards. Going to set up 2nd and 2 Trojans on a tough run by Jay Fulmer.
On the run, taking down by number 16, Phil Stewart. 2nd and 2 for the Trojans.
10-17 left in the first quarter. Trojans' first drive of the game. Gerlich's going to flip it. Got first down to Ben Hatcher before he's held up there around the 15-yard line. Hatcher's first catch of the game. Typical of the Trojan offense, spreading the wealth. Small with a catch, and now Hatcher for a first down catch. Trojans at the 15 of Hendrickson. Here's Gerlich, looking, throws. Ooh, just out of the outstretched arms of Zayden Sharp, diving for the ball around the 5-yard line. It's going to be incomplete. 2nd and 10 Trojans from the 15.
Tight window throw, hard completion to make, and that situation looks like they're going to empty it out now.
Yeah, quads to the left, Ed Small solo right. Here's Gerlich, he's going to flip it out there. It's going to be incomplete. Trying to set up Ben Hatcher on a screen with blockers in front, but it's going to set up 3rd and 10 Trojans from the 15. We'll see what Coach Counter dials up here on this 3rd down. Gerlich in the shotgun, trips right. Looking, he's going to flare it over there, and Tristan Wadlick with a touchdown. Trojans. Helmet flies off, holds onto the ball. Trojo touchdown on a dime. They've had that all season long. Tristan able to elevate on that, and a touchdown on the first drive of the game.
Just a simple fade. Put it to the back pylon. Let your receiver go up top and get it. It's exactly what they do, and we talked about it earlier. Must-win game. Well, Anderson, they've got the early lead.
It's going to be up to the defense. Ryan Osbo on for the extra point. Ed Small with the hold. Good snap, good hold. Kick is good. Osbo, I'm not even going to say it. I almost said stays perfect on the year. You can't ever do that to a kicker. I just did it. But a good kick by Ryan Osbo. And Trojans will kick off. We'll get a look at the first look at the Trojan defense, but about as good as you start as you could hope. Executing beautiful that 3rd and 10. I guess that would be the only time we saw some adversity on that drive. Trojans moving at a nice clip all the way down the field and finishing with, it's always good to finish with 6.
Well, and especially being the first one to do it, right? Because now in a game like this, with this atmosphere in this stadium here at House Park, you're in the driver's seat now, at least initially. Now, it's going to be up to your defense to keep you in that spot, but you've put yourself in position to at least allow yourself the opportunity to take control early Defense is going to have to get a stop. We'll see if they can do that. But right now, nice little confidence booster, keeps everybody feeling good early on here.
It's always easier to play in front with the lead. All right, whistles on the kick. I think the ref was just setting up in position. Osbo will restart, go through the routine again. I like it like a golfer. Just reset, Ryan. All right. And here's the kick. Little pooch down around the 20 will be fielded. Bringing it up. He's going to be pushed out of bounds right there about the 30. But I know Osbo's been working on that all practice, placing the kick. These kickers nowadays in high school with big legs, it really becomes, where am I going to put it? Who do I need to kick away from? Don't kick it out of bounds. All those things matter. All right, the Trojans will come out in that 4-3. We talked about it. Gage Webb, Hodges Smith in the middle, and McMillan to the outside. First down. It's going to be give up the middle. It's going to be Hodges Smith with the tackle right in the middle. Also, Calvin Ballinger, Calvin's granddad, came up and saw me today at the game. But a nice tackle there. Going to be 2nd and 7. Hendrickson primarily a running team, but still out of the spread.
It's one of those old school ball control offenses. You can't score as much if you don't have the ball.
That's right.
And it keeps their defense on the bench.
High snap, looking to throw. Over the middle, it's going to be caught, still up, down around the minute I call them a running offense, they throw the ball, but obviously they executed the play-action fake. It's going to be a first down. Hendrickson down around their own 47-yard line. So nice pass there early on the play-action fake. Almost faked me out. All right, 1st and 10, Hendrickson. Empty backfield. Trips to the left side of the field. Clear snap, looking to run. He's going to run it straight up the middle. Got a little room to work with. Slides down, but a nice gain of about 7. So mixing it up. When it looks like it's going to be a pass, he's going to run. When it looks like he's going to run, they're going to pass.
Keep them off balance as much as you can.
77 is a big fella over there. I mean, golly. Their left tackle is massive. All right, 2nd and 4, Hendrickson after the 6-yard run. Trojans getting in their defensive play from Coach Bo Holcomb. Man in motion. Give is to the motion receiver. He's got room to run down the field. He's going to be knocked down around the 25-yard line of Anderson, but the sweep around the end and a big gain by the Hendrickson Hawks all the way down to the Trojan 25-yard line. This is where we've seen it all year, the Anderson defense bending but don't break. Pretty important here to get a stop. It's so funny in these games. This team, you're right, slowing it down, huddling after every play, kind of slowing the game down, keeping the ball out of the Anderson offensive hands. All right, 1st and 10, Hendrickson. Man in motion. Another give across the middle. He's going to be hit hard. Their ball's loose. The ball's loose. Gage Webb. Oh! Heady play by Gage Webb. It's going to go out of bounds there with a modest gain, but ball popped out on a big hit by the Trojans. Gage Webb tracking, hit the other guy going for the ball, tried to dive on it, couldn't gather it. So it's good. Yeah, it's going to be 2nd and 9, fumbling it forward, but a good hit by that Trojan defense. They tried to do that end around to the other side, and he was stoned by the Trojan defense. All right, 2nd and 9. Man in motion. Quarterback looks a little pop pass over the middle. He's going to be wrapped up by a host of Trojans. Hodges Smith, Gage Webb, the River Anderson, all in there, and a 2-yard gain. And it's going to set up pretty big 3rd and 7 for Hendrickson.
Just a simple screen, try and catch Anderson looking too far into the backfield. You had a lot of that motion and those jet sweeps to either side. Maybe try to catch Anderson looking a little bit too far into the backfield. Does not work out. Really well disciplined play by this Anderson defense.
3rd and 7 Anderson. Looking around up the middle. Comes almost to the line of scrimmage, and it is an incomplete pass. Colin Haynes absolutely big play defensively, knocks it out of the receiver's hands. It's going to be 4th and 7. It looks like Hendrickson will go for it, but a nice play by the senior Haynes.
Separate the ball from the receiver in that situation, just a hard collision, and it's, simple physics. Receiver's going one way, ball's going the other direction. It's hard to reconcile that from the receiver position with the force of that impact.
Absolutely it is. All right, Hendrickson's going to be on for a field goal here. It's going to be about a 44-yarder. Good snap. Oh, almost blocked by Zayden Sharp. Big, long kick, and it is going to be good. Hits the upright, and good. What a kick right there by the Hendrickson kicker. Zayden Sharp almost blocked it, but a well-executed field goal, which you don't see as much in high school, but a 44-yard field goal is good. Hit the upright, flipped over, and Hendrickson on the board. But it was good. That's typical of Anderson defense, allowing some yards, but then stiffening there with a big play on defense.
Well, you give it another yard, and it didn't look like it was going to reach it. So Anderson's defense able to come up with a stop, but it's one of those, that kick, because we saw it hit square on the top of the crossbar, and then took the Anderson bounce through.
Yep.
The Hendrickson bounce through, and so Anderson defensively got to feel good, right?
Yep.
You keep Hendrickson from matching your score. Yeah, they get a field goal, but you still have the 4-point advantage, and your offense, who moved the ball very effectively in the opening possession, able to now try to come out and double down on it.
Yeah, and I got to shout out Colin Haynes one more time on that pass breakup. The other thing he did, that is such a place in the field where a targeting penalty to really deliver a knockout blow, and he hit him low, not too low, right there in the midsection, which is completely legal, and executed the play and obviously saved 7 points on that drive. God, those House Park nachos look tempting, don't they?
I treated myself to the hot dog pregame, just, a little something to carry us through the night.
All right, little kick down the field, trying to get it away from Bud. But Zayden Sharp will get it. Cuts outside, breaks a tackle, coming all the way back across the field. He's got wonderful speed, trying to get to the outside. He will get there, turn it up, and there's got to be a flag there. Got to be a flag there. And I don't think they threw it. And there's taunting now, and no flag. He was a good yard out of bounds, and they did not call that. Sharp turning it upfield, getting those extra yards, going out of bounds. Big hit on the sidelines, but no flag. Anderson will set up from the 29-yard line. All right, here's Wadelick. Return, he's going to give it to Jay Fulmer. Jay's got a lot of room to work with. He's going to have about 9 yards. Pancake blocked by the senior Jaden Evans, help leading the way. It's going to be 2nd and 1 from the 39-yard line of Anderson.
2nd and 1 for the Trojans.
Here's Gerlich out of the shotgun. Another give to Fulmer. He's going to have the first down and more, all the way up to the 45.
Boy, looking a lot similar to the way their first drive started out. Run heavy early. We'll see if they open it up to the air here at midfield.
Definitely. All right, Gerlich turns, fakes to Fulmer looking, still looking, rotating. He's going to try to go deep to Ed Small. He's got him down the field. Ed's got it down there to the 15-yard line. Gerlich extending the play, moving out of the pocket, finding Ed Small deep down the sideline, put enough air under it. Sometimes it's better to do that. And it's going to be a first down, Trojans, all the way down to the 13-yard line of Hendrickson. Gerlich turns, fakes to Fulmer, throws over the middle, high. Looks like he may have rushed that throw just a little bit. It's over the outstretched arms of Tristan Wadelick.
Good read. It was clearly the right read in that regard. Just put it a little bit too high, and so sometimes that happens. Maybe felt that internal clock, rushed the decision, just couldn't quite set his feet and make an accurate enough throw.
Well, it's going to be 2nd and 10 from the 13-yard line. Here's Gerlich, turns, going to give to Fulmer, guy right in his face. He's going to be stopped for a loss of 2. It's going to set up another third and about 12. Looks very similar to the first drive here. We'll see what Coach Counter dials up here.
You know, that fade worked pretty well on that first drive. I might go with that again.
It did, and Wadelick is out there on what looks to be man coverage. Gerlich fakes, looking, moves out of the pocket, looking back, eludes a receiver, but he's going to be sacked down around the 25-yard line. Helmet will pop off, and it's going to be 4th and a whole bunch. But it looks like there's a flag on the other side of the field. We'll see what it is.
And it's pretty far back here from where the line of scrimmage was. This flag is back at the 25. Line of scrimmage was at the 15.
Sideline warning Hendrickson. I would have rather had a horse collar or anything, defensive holding. We're not going to get it. So we'll see. The Trojans will call timeout to get Gerlich back in the game and then decide what they do, but it would not shock me if they go for it. It seems to be a little out of range for Ryan Osbo, but
that's a long 4th down to go for it, though.
Down.
I mean, that's
Coach Hatcher has done it in the past.
4th and 21 to convert.
21, that's a lot. No, they're going field goal. So after discussing it after the timeout, Ryan Osbo will be on to kick. He's got the leg to do it. It looked like Gerlich was looking, and probably just should have thrown it away.
Make this, at minimum, a much easier kick.
It's hard, though, with those receivers to just throw it away, knowing that they can almost make a play, but he's got to get rid of it.
And it's one of those things I think a lot of young quarterbacks learn from is when is the right time to give up on a play. And a lot of the quarterbacks, you know, and it's a testament to the confidence they have in their receivers. Yes. They don't want to give up on the play because they're counting on somebody to come open. But if you throw it away, we're talking about the difference here. This would be a 41-yard field goal attempt compared to potentially a 31-yard field goal attempt. So this is a big difference here from a kicking standpoint.
All right, the junior Ryan Osbo on to kick a 41-yarder. Here's the snap, good hold. Kick is got plenty of distance, and it is straight down the middle. Absolute beautiful kick by Ryan Osbo, matching Hendrickson. Whatever you can do on the field goal front, we can do, and it's a 10-3 lead for your Anderson Trojans. So an effective drive by Anderson. Obviously, it looked dicey there with the sack of Gerlich, but Osbo comes on, executes perfectly, and it's another 7-point lead for Anderson.
Well, you're able to match, right? And so at the minimum, as a bare minimum, you keep this a full one-possession game. It's a full 7-point game separating you and Hendrickson. So, like we talked about earlier, Anderson maintaining a position of control right now early on.
Absolutely. All 4:09 left in the first quarter. Anderson up 10-3 from House Park in Austin. Here's Osbo, the junior, to kick off. Steps into it, flips it, high kick down around the 15-yard line. Will be brought out. Trojans pursuing, and a nice tackle right there by the senior Gage Webb. Not only lots of reps at the linebacker position, has spent a lot of times on that all-important kick coverage unit.
Short return makes for a long field, and right now Hendrickson, you saw the results of that really for both teams on their last drive respectively, that when you have a long field it creates more opportunities for you defensively to at least come up with a stop in some regard.
Definitely. All right, 1st and 10 Hendrickson from their 27-yard line, out of the shotgun. High snap, it's quarterback keeper, and a nice play by River Anderson. Unbelievable, he's going to be slammed back. Hodges Smith, Liam McMillan giving chase, but the initial contact, the Riv, has been outstanding from that defensive line position.
A little discussion here.
Yeah, whistles blew.
There was an initial indication towards Anderson, but I did not see a flag.
No flag. Oh,
okay,
it's a
so
clock.
they're fixing the clock here a little bit.
Yeah, there's
putting 7 seconds
7
back.
seconds back on the board. All right, now clock will move. 3:52 left in the first quarter for Anderson. So a good stop by River Anderson and the boys. It's going to be 2nd and 10, Hendrickson. High snap again, looking to throw, got it over the middle, got a man. It's going to be tackled by Austin Eckerman, the junior, but not after a 13-yard gain. Again, that play action working for Hendrickson. Second time they've run that tonight, and both executed for a first down.
It's just become such a staple of the modern offense in all 3 phases and all levels. The RPO game, right? It's just simple. If the certain read, each play has its own read built into it. In this case, the slant on the backside, if the defense commits to the run, you just throw it right behind them, works out well.
All right, it's going to be give up the middle. Anderson stiffens right away. Hodges Smith in there on the tackle. River Anderson, that duo on a lot of these tackles. River, the junior defensive end. Smith, the middle linebacker, junior. And a good stop after a 1-yard gain by Hendrickson.
You put it best early on, trench warfare at its finest. Right now, Anderson winning that battle early on here on both sides of the ball.
All right, 2nd and 9, Hendrickson. Trojans looking like they're going to bring all sorts of pressure. Now back out of it, looking, throwing deep, got a man wide open, and it will go for a touchdown. An absolute blown coverage by Anderson. There wasn't a guy within 20 yards of him.
No,
and we've seen it, unfortunately, a couple of times this year with a blown coverage that leads to a wide open receiver, and unfortunately for Anderson, a perfect pass and about a 50-yard touchdown run. All right, after this extra point by Hendrickson, the extra point attempt, on to potentially tie the game. Here is the kick. It's just barely through. Trojans looked like they were almost going to get in there and block it, but it is good, and they're going to tie the game. And with that, we're going to pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the Vype Central Texas High School Football Game of the Week on 102.7 FM ESPN Austin. right, we're back. Again, thank you to all the 102.7 FM ESPN Austin listeners on the Vype Game of the Week. It's always fun to bring high school football to a radio audience, as well as streaming live on Vype.com. All right, we're at a 10-10 ball game. 2:13 left in the first quarter. High kick. Ed Small's going to field it right around the 20. Ed's going to have a little room to work with before he's pushed out of bounds around the 30-yard line. Gets a little chippy over there on the sidelines, but it's going to be 1st and 10 Anderson from around their own 30-yard line. Those high pooch kicks, if they're executed well, they're hard to make a quality return on.
Well, it makes it difficult in that, and what, kicking-wise, ideally you can force a mistake on the return team that you can capitalize on. Unfortunately for Anderson, the mistake didn't need to come on the kick return. It came in the blown coverage and letting the receiver run free down the sideline to allow Hendrickson to tie it up.
All right, here's Gerlich. Turns, going to give the senior Dom Mays. Dom Mays always looks like he shot out of a cannon. Moves through that hole so quickly. He's going to have a first down on a pickup of 10 yards for Dom Mays. So Trojans moving quickly will set up on the 39-yard line.
1st and 10 Trojans.
Here's Gerlich, turns, flares it over there to Ed Small. Got a little room to work with, good blocking. He's just going to plow ahead and have about 6 or 7 yards on a nice pickup by the Trojans.
A couple really good runs right now for Anderson, and those short passes, they're really just an extension of the running game offensively, and so when you can attack on the edge in that regard and then run off tackle, you'll find a lot of success.
Here's Gerlich, turns, gives it Dom Mays straight out of the gate. Another big run, going to hold on to that ball, but not after a first down by Anderson into Hendrickson territory all the way down to 45. You're exactly right. It does become a weapon and an extension of the run. Those screen passes, the blocking looks similar. Here's Gerlich out of the shotgun, looking to throw. He's going to fire it over there. Diving attempt by Ed Small just out of his hands, trying to hit that window again.
Well, Hendrickson, give them credit. They're not making it easy for Gerlich in this offense. A lot of tight window throws, and so it's really going to test Gerlich's ability to fit those in there and the third level.
Here's Gerlich. He's going to give it to Dom Mays. Dom Mays breaks the tackle, still moving. Going to have a first down. Pushed down the field by Jaden Evans. He's a big run, 25-yard gain, all the way down to the 25-yard line of Hendrickson. Dom Mays, first series of the game at running back, running with authority. All right, whistles. It looks like it's going to be a timeout by Hendrickson. You see this a lot. A timeout to kind of steady the defense, possibly on their heels here. 53 seconds left in the first quarter. Tie game, Anderson and Hendrickson, 10-10.
You see a lot of those, especially when an offense like Anderson's right now is clicking on all cylinders on this drive. It's 3 consecutive drives right now that this Anderson offense has essentially been moving the ball at will in a lot of different ways. We've seen it all. We've seen inside runs. We've seen it off tackle. We've seen little swing passes. We've seen them move the ball through the air downfield. So when they're able to keep the defense on their heels, like you said, trying to get the defense to settle in a little bit, but also on the flip side to it, trying to take that momentum and that wind out of Anderson's sails at least just a little bit.
Absolutely. That is 100% true. Also giving your defense maybe a breather. Anderson typically moving quickly. Sometimes that defense can get a little winded, having to cover these Anderson receivers. And you have an Anderson team and Dom Mays running pretty hard downhill right into their faces. All right, Trojans will set up 1st and 10 from the Hendrickson 25-yard line. Gerlich out of the shotgun. Looking to throw. Got time, throws it over the top. got a man down there. He had Ed Small, and he just let it sail a little too far and out of bounds.
Well, that's why you take the timeout, right? Because when Gerlich is in that rhythm, what does that do from a passing game standpoint is when you call that timeout, you disrupt that rhythm a little bit. And so we talk about disrupting offenses from pass rush and getting into the backfield. You can also disrupt it with a timeout.
100% correct. All right, here's Gerlich. 2nd and 10. Pressure coming in the middle, but Dom Mays, falls forward. But a big gain, and a flag's going to come late on a unnecessary roughness from the Hendrickson, the lineman, knocking off the helmet of our offensive lineman there. Luke Tillett. And again, I believe he told Luke you can stay in the game because it was an intentional helmet pull. All right, dead ball, personal foul on Hendrickson. It's going to be another first down. Dom got about 7 there, and they're going to tack on another 8 or so, half the distance to the goal. It's going to be 1st and goal Trojans from around the 10-yard line of Hendrickson. All right, interesting setup here. Calvin Ballinger, the defensive end, in at tight end. He's going to look to throw. He's got Ed Small. Ed Small, tiptoe catch, Trojo, touchdown. Ed Small, perfect pass from Max Gerlich. He remedied his pass overthrow, got it to Ed Small. Trojans touchdown, showing a lot of Trojo on a fingertip catch by Ed. Trojans retake the lead, pending the extra point by Osbo. 32 seconds left in this first quarter. Here is the kick. It is up, and it is good. And Trojans now lead 17-10 over Hendrickson. So we wanted an answer, and we got it.
No bigger answer than that either. And it again, we talked about it. This was going to be a game. We talk about the must-win aspect of it, but right now, Anderson offensively is clicking, and it's like we talked about. In order for Hendrickson to really come away with a win here tonight, they're going to have to find ways to be disruptive. Taking a timeout is a great way to do it. We saw Gerlich looked a little bit off in the subsequent pass, but the problem that we're running into from a Hendrickson standpoint is that it's not enough. It's not enough to burn a timeout, and you only get 3 of them in a half anyways. Right. You can't keep relying on that to find a way to stall or disrupt a rhythm of the Anderson offense. It's Hendrickson defense. In order to come away with a win or get back out in front, is going to have to find a way to be disruptive on their own and potentially force a turnover.
For sure, for sure. All right, here's Osbo on to kick. He's going to flare it right there, familiar spot. Oh, bobbled ball down around the 15. Trojans covering. Got a tackle there. There's going to be a flag on, looks to be on a hold, but we'll see what it is. Hendrickson will set up at the 30 pending the flag. We'll see the preliminary indication here. Holding will be the call. It's going to push them down to around their 20-yard line. The kick was bobbled, but a nice return up to the 30. But the hold's going to take him back 10 yards. It's going to be 1st and 10 Hendrickson from the 20-yard line. Trojans again in the 4-3 defense. Brought out for the first time last week against Lehman. Snap, it's going to be a quarterback run. Rowan Erickson from the safety position kind of faked out the entire Anderson defense, and he's going to have about 8 yards. Good open field tackle by Rowan. He's been doing that all year long.
Should do it for the first quarter, too.
Yeah, that will wrap the first quarter here. Anderson up 17-10. It's going to be 2nd and 1 as we flip to the second quarter. And with that on the radio, you're listening to the 102.7 FM ESPN Game of the Week on Vype.com. We will pause and rejoin you back in the second quarter. We are back for the start of the second quarter. Anderson up 17-10 over Hendrickson. 2nd and 1. Hendrickson from their own 29-yard line. Man in motion. Snap. It's going to be give up the middle. Nowhere going. It's going to be stopped short of the first down. I believe possibly generous spot, and it will be a first down. I wanted it not to be a first down. Hodges Smith in there. Calvin Ballinger with a pretty, look like, could have been a loss, but that is a total homer call, and that's what these people have become accustomed to. Don't let me get on the refs because it gets worse.
Oh, we got on them last night. Yeah. That's okay. We had a couple of fun ones last night.
Yep. All right, 1st and 10, empty backfield. Last time Hendrickson ran a quarterback draw out of the set, but looking to throw here. Looking to throw. Gage Webb comes up fast, but eludes Webb. He's going to be out of bounds, but not after a first down. So obviously Hendrickson always a threat to run out of that empty set, and he does there.
Really good job just maneuvering the pocket, steps up, nothing open downfield, at least not enough time for him to set up if there was. And so just commits, decisive in the running game, and he's able to take advantage of it. Nice chunky yardage, gets you out to midfield.
So it will be 1st down and 10, Hendrickson from the 45-yard line. Hendrickson, give up the middle, bounces around. Nice hit by the Trojan D right there. That is Hodges Smith coming over, Pierce Miller in there, Gage Webb. Those Trojan linebackers in. Trojans shifting now to the 3-4, and Mr. Clean, Pierce Miller in there at outside linebacker. And it will be 2nd and 7 for Hendrickson.
Keep the offense guessing, right? It's the same way from the offensive side where you try to keep the defense on its heels. If you don't know where pressure is coming from, makes it tough on the quarterback.
Yes, it does. All right, 2nd and 6. Give up the middle. Little room to work, but he stumbles there right around the line of scrimmage. He's going to get about 2 yards. It's going to set up a pretty important 3rd and 5 for Hendrickson early in the second quarter.
Pierce Miller.
Hendrickson really taking their time with this play call here.
3rd and 5, Hendrickson. Empty backfield. We've seen 2 runs out of this set. Drops back, looking. Trojans big pressure. River Anderson, hang on to him. All right, River Anderson with the initial hold there, and Hodges Smith and Calvin Ballinger coming in to lay the wood with authority. It's going to be a sack by the Anderson Trojans defense, and here comes the punt unit for Hendrickson. So I always get nervous in these high school games declaring it a stop until that punt is off the punter's foot. But it looks like Hendrickson will punt here to Ed Small. And I don't want to say it yet, but the Trojan defense may have gotten a massive stop there. All right, Hendrickson shifting in their punt formation. Good snap. Punt is away. Trying to kick it away from Ed. Ed's going to let it bounce there, and he's kind of thinking about, should he have picked it up? It's kind of in no man's land there. But it's going to be a nice punt all the way down inside the 10-yard line to the 6, where the Trojans will pick up offensively.
Small's got to be a little bit careful, I think, in those kind of situations, because when you stop and think about it, as we've seen, some teams will just grab you as a returner and drag you to it and say, you're going to touch it one way or another, and we're going to get the muffed punt.
Yeah, you wonder how long, that's become new in the last couple of years, and you wonder before they start, there's going to be a rule where you can't physically do that, but until then, we're going to see that a lot. All right, kind of a full backfield for Anderson. Anderson turn, give Jay Fulmer, cuts upfield, and another nice gain. About 3 yards out to the 10-yard line, almost 11. It's going to be second and 6 for Anderson. Here's Fulmer again, bouncing outside, not as much room to work with. Still fights ahead for a couple yards. It's going to be 3rd and 5 for Anderson from their 11-yard line.
You talked about it being no man's land from the punt return aspects, a little bit no man's land here offensively too. Do you run the risk of a drop back passing game here this close to your own end? Do you run it, hope you can pick it up? Maybe you get, a nice crease, but we'll see what the call is.
All right. Here's Gerlach looking, fires over the middle. Ed Small's got it. Ed Small bounces it outside. Ed Small still moving down the field, barrels over a guy. And a big gain on 3rd down for Anderson. A lot of Trojo there by Ed Small, and it's going to be a 1st down. Trojans on the move now from the 32-yard line.
Well, the answer was we're going to trust Gerlach in this drop-back passing game, and more importantly, we're going to trust our offensive line, and it pays off.
All right, Trojans give up the middle. Fulmer, lots of room. Another truck stick loses the ball, though. Massive pileup for it. We'll see what the indication is. It's going to be Hendrickson ball on the fumble by Jay Fulmer. Jay Fulmer knocking the Hendrickson defensive back over on a tough run, but also ball getting dislodged, helmet getting dislodged, and it's going to be a turnover on the fumble and 1st and 10 Hendrickson from the Trojan 45-yard line.
Well, we talked about you got the stop, right, defensively for Anderson. You had a long field you're going to have to work with. Well, you're driving the ball and everything is looking good, and then you give a opportunity to Hendrickson. The turnover creates a short field and an opportunity for Hendrickson to try and even the score.
All right, here's Hendrickson, 1st and down from the 45-yard line. Looking to throw, still looking, going deep, over the top. Colin Haynes with the interception at the 1-yard line. So you don't throw a punt there. I mean, you don't usually call those deep passes a punt on 1st down, but a beautiful play by the senior captain, Colin Haynes. Interception, turnover, we'll take it right back. Colin Haynes, plenty of Trojo there on that interception. Anderson will take over offensively from their 2-yard line.
Little bit of defensive quid pro quo, right?
100%.
Hendrickson gets a fumble. They get a short field. Well, Anderson comes back. Hendrickson aggressive. Got to respect that, their willingness to say, look, we're going to take the shot in response to that, try and capitalize on both the opportunity and the momentum that we get from the turnover. Anderson responds in kind, and now we're about where we started about, 20 seconds ago.
Exactly. It all happened so fast. All right, here's Gerlach from that same power set we saw earlier. Now looking to throw, flips it over there, and a nice catch by Tristan Wadley. Back shoulder catch. It's going to be a first down, so getting a little bit of breathing room early on a good pass and catch from Gerlich to Wadley. All right, 1st and 10 Trojans from their 13. Gerlich's going to give it to senior Dom Mays. Dom Mays hits a hole, spinning, still moving forward. It's going to have about 5 yards. So a nice run by Dom there on first down. It's going to be 2nd and 5 Trojans. 6:55 left in this first half. Trojans up 17-10. Here's Gerlich. Coach Counter making an adjustment on the sideline. Gerlich shifting Dom Mays over to the right. Gonna fake it to Dom Mays. Looking. Kind of holds on to it for a while. He's gonna be stopped for a gain of about 2. That's another aspect of Gerlich looking and wanting to hit Ed Small on a change of route mid-play. But it's gonna be set up a 3rd and 3 for Anderson from their own 20-yard line. All right, here's Gerlich, trips right, gonna bring pressure, but straight out of the gate, tough run, first down by Dom Mays. So a nice play call there by Coach Counter, had an initial hole before it was swallowed up, but a first down Anderson on that 3-yard run. It's gonna be first down Trojans from the 23-yard line.
Like you said, great call. Hendrickson brings pressure off the edge, but when you run it inside, that edge rusher just can't get there.
Here's Gerlich looking to throw long for Ben Hatcher, just overthrows it. Looks like Ben got open out of that route. There's going to be a flag on that, kind of in the area of holding, I'm afraid. As Hatcher was coming out of that window open, ball was already in the air and just overthrown up the seam. It is going to be holding on Anderson. They're going to not send him back 10 yards, replay first down, but it'll be 1st and 20 Anderson from their own 15-yard line, 13-yard line.
Looks like it'll be the 13.
All right, 1st and 20 Anderson. Trips to the high side of the field for Gerlich. Gerlich looking, still looking. Flares it over there to Tristan Wade. Make a move, Tristan. Makes a move and still going down the sideline. Great stiff arm by Wadley. First down Trojans. I saw it. If he could break away from one move, he did, and picked up 30 extra yak. First down Trojans from midfield. Nice job there by Gerlich to evade pressure, look back across his body, fire a strike to Wadley, and a first down Trojans. Here's Gerlich, gives to Dom Mays, bounces around, big hit, fumble in the air, and Hendrickson will have it. So he just got stripped as he was held up on that run, and another fumble by the Trojan running backs. It's going to be 1st and 10, Hendrickson. Rinse, repeat.
Well, and it's about the same area of the field that they had the fumble on the last time, little 5-yard difference there, but again, gifting Hendrickson another opportunity. Last time you were able to come back defensively, come down with an interception. We'll see if you can do that here in this spot.
Credit to Hendrickson there. Tough defense. You have a man stood up, you go ripping for that football, and they did there for the turnover. All right, Hendrickson taking over on their own 49. Handoff up the middle, Pierce Miller, initial hit, Max Middleton in there. All the Trojan defense in there now. A nice play by the Trojan defense. Again, Hodges Smith, Gage Webb, but Pierce Miller stood him up initially, and a gang tackle by this Trojan defense for no gain. going to be 2nd and 10 Hendrickson from the 49-yard line. High snap, little screen pass, overthrown. Pierce Miller, Grayson Lake over there in the area, covering. It's going to be 3rd and 10. A little high on that screen pass, but a lot of Trojans in the area ready for that one. Scary thing about those are those little screen pass, you do that over and over, and then you fake it, and you've got a guy wide open down the sideline. That's PTSD right
It's
here.
a little shoulder shrug, and as the defense commits to it, all the quarterback has to do is reset, and it just turns into a really simple throw in those situations.
All right, 3rd and 10 from the 49-yard line. Looking, throws it over the top. Oh, my gosh, Liam McMillan. Liam McMillan straight into his hands, through his hands, but a defensive stop nonetheless. Liam McMillan is absolutely wrecked right now. He's never going to be able to spend the night at my house again. Straight through his hands. Hopefully we win this game and we can share a laugh later about this one. But McMillan, literally one of the best athletes I've ever seen. And 10 out of 10 he catches that ball, and it's like it surprised him over there. But Hendrickson have to punt here around the same place. We've seen it before. And the punt is up. Ed Small will fair catch it right there at the 20. So good job by Ed. We talk about this all the time. Sometimes catching the ball in the air saves you 20 yards.
Yeah, and in situations like this, you save yourself again from starting backed up inside your own 15, inside your own 10. Last 2 drives, that's been where Anderson has started, is back inside your own 10-yard line. So an opportunity here. Last 2 drives, by the way, same starting field position inside the 10, same result. Fumble that leads to Hendrickson taking over. See if they can change that here.
Yeah, change it up here. All right, Fulmer now in. Fulmer will take it straight out of the gate. Plenty of room to work. Great cutback. Great move. Breaks a tackle and moves with authority on a big gain straight up the middle. Great blocking by that Trojan O-line. David mentioned him earlier in the game. Well executed by the Trojan offensive line, and a great run by Jay Fulmer. 1st and 10 Trojans from the 37-yard line. Gerlich going to give to Fulmer again. Little room to work with. Gets about 3 yards up to the Trojan 40. So it's going to be 2nd and 7 Anderson. Twins on both sides for Gerlich. Gerlich looking to throw, still looking, moves up in the pocket, got plenty of room to run. He will have a 1st down before he's pushed out of bounds at around midfield on a 7-yard run, 8-yard run by Gerlich. 1st and 10 Trojans from the 49-yard line. All right, 3:28 left in this first quarter. Trojans driving. Here's Gerlich looking to throw. Got plenty of time, spins out of pressure. Moving left now, going to go deep all the way down the field for Ed Small. Ed Small's got it all the way down for a Trojan touchdown, Trojans. Ed Small, plenty of Trojo. There's going to be a flag after the play, but the touchdown will count. But a unbelievable Manster-type catch by Ed Small, dragging the defensive back into the end zone for a Trojan touchdown. All kinds of Trojo there, Ed Small. Boy, when you have a quarterback who's athletic, can spin out of the pocket, and you got Ed Small at receiver, magic can happen at any time.
Well, and it's the name of the game, right? Everybody wants to be the next Patrick Mahomes, and that's, for the longest time, people emulated their game after guys like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. You go back further, Staubach, Cunningham, all these different quarterbacks, Warren Moon at one point being the big idol. And so we're seeing the paradigm shift right now, even at this level, where it's put the most athletic guy that you can find back there who has an arm and just take it as a blank canvas and develop him into something. In this situation, Gerlich, able to create with his legs, buys time, right? Not scrambling necessarily to turn upfield, just a buy time, clear the sidelines, and give him enough room to really set his feet, does so there, and drives it in for Small. Beautiful throw, right on point, as is the kick.
Absolutely. The kick by Ryan Osbo up and good. Trojans moving ahead now 24-10. We'll see if that flag is going to be assessed on the kickoff. We believe it may have been on Ed, which is so funny because when you're a primetime player, you almost anything you're going to get the penalty on.
Yep.
But an unbelievable play by Ed Small and absolute dime by Max Gerlich on the run. We'll see what they do. Yeah, they're going to back us up, and we're going to be kicking off from our own 25-yard line. So it's going to be interesting. They're going to, Coach Matthews down there, our head baseball coach, also special teams coordinator for Anderson, going to talk to Ryan about where he needs to put this ball because there's a lot of room to work with on this return and get a little hairy if you don't execute.
Well, and so it works two ways, right? When the penalty gets enforced and assessed on the kickoff, you're going to most likely probably create a short field for yourself on the Hendrickson side of things. A flip side to it is your return team now has a lot more field that they have to worry about this being placed. Look at how spread out this return team is.
All the way down the field. All right, here's Osbo on the kick from the own 25-yard line. He will boot it right down the middle. Bounce again. All right, gathered around midfield on that return. I wanted that hold to the outside. Alex Longoria over there trying to provide outside containment. I think he got a jersey pulled, but credit to Hendrickson on that blocking and a nice return there, and sometimes that happens.
First and 10 to 49 for the Hawks.
All right, it's going to be 1st and 10, Hendrickson. We've seen them in this spot a lot tonight, right there at midfield. Actually, the Trojan 49-yard line. Out of the shotgun. High snap, ball up the middle. Little room to work with, but he's going to be knocked down by the Trojan defense there. It's going to be Gage Webb in there. And the safety, Rowan Erickson, coming up strong. But a 4-yard gain by Hendrickson, going to be 2nd and 6. Now the clock is moving with 2:47 left in the first half. Anderson up 24-10 over Hendrickson. Again, we mentioned it at the top of the broadcast. This is a massive must-win for Anderson in this playoff race. Another step in achieving that playoff dream. All right, going to be a give up the middle. Nice job by the Trojan defense there. It's Hodges Smith on the tackle, coming up from the middle linebacker position, assisted by Mr. Clean Pierce Miller.
Talk about it being a must-win game, and a lot of it stems from mainly, big thing is the timing of it, right? We're at the point in the season where there's a lot more games in the rear view than there are in front of you at this juncture, at least in terms of district and the regular season. A lot of teams at this point about halfway through their district play and really starting to look around at the rankings and see where they stand.
All right, pivotal 3rd and 4 for Hendrickson. Shotgun, he's going to take it right up the middle. Got a little room to work with. He is going to be short of the first down on a big old ball is loose. Ball is loose. We'll see what it ended up. Lots of bodies on it, but Hendrickson will recover. But a loss on the play on that fumble. And it's going to be a 4th down. Stoppage of play there. It looks like Anderson called a quick timeout. Going to try to get the ball back with 1:30 left. What do you think about that? It's kind of dangerous if they go for it.
Well, Hendrickson on their side of things, we ran into this a little bit last night. We had this conversation in the Austin High game. Austin High losing to Westlake last night. But the way this game has gone from Anderson's side of things, You want the timeout because you want to be able to really extend this going into the half. I had the conversation that if a team like Hendrickson, if you let them hang around, you leave the door open for your own demise. So Anderson, to their credit, saying, let's get the ball back, get a stop here, drive down the field with the time left, and really open up this lead to a 3-possession game.
Yep.
And then we'll just control the ball for the rest of the night and call it a night.
Yep. Well, and do you think here it's kind of a critical decision time for Hendrickson? You wonder, going for it here and not getting it gives Anderson not only a minute 30 left, but a lot better field position with which to score again and achieve that goal.
The one positive to Hendrickson, though, in going for it is this. If you don't get it, you just need your defense to get a stop. Now, that's a risky gamble, but you do get the ball to start the second half.
All right, 4th down. It's going to be a quarterback keeper, but he turns to throw it. Oh, just over the outstretched arms of Colin Haynes, and an unbelievable 4th down execution by Hendrickson. Oh, Colin would want that one back because he just jumped a tad too early. Had him dead to rights, and a beautiful pass by Hendrickson down the sideline. Touchdown, Hendrickson. And a tough break by the Anderson defense there.
Well, and so we talk about the decision in and of itself. Do you go for it? Do you allow Anderson the opportunity? Hendrickson rolls the dice, and
it pays off in a big way.
No bigger way than that, right? Because now you go into the half, you give your defense a little bit of extra rest, maybe not nearly enough, but the other aspect of it is this. You've cut this now to a 7-point game. You get the ball back to start the third. Now it really becomes a challenge to the defense. Like, hey, man, we did our part. We got the point. We pulled us within 7. Now it's up to you to keep it that way with a minute 22 left to go in the half. We talked about it last night, Austin High, Westlake, and the mantra for Austin High in that game became, can you just keep it in reach until the last minute? Hendrickson, same motto here tonight.
Absolutely.
Can you just keep it within reach going into the half? Can you keep it within a possession going into the halftime break? And let's see what halftime adjustments may come.
Yeah, and you've got to give credit to the Hendrickson coaching staff. What an incredible play. You talked about the RPO all night, and sure looked like that zone read, sure looked like that quarterback was going to keep it and try to run outside, pulls up at the last second. Good coverage by Anderson, but just flawlessly executed by Hendrickson for the touchdown. All right, massive moonshot. Fair catch by Ed Small around the 27-yard line. So the Trojans with two timeouts?
One timeout.
One timeout, and about 73 yards to go, which with this offense, very manageable. Obviously, Trojan offense looking to get it back after, I'll say it, this is total homer. I'd call them two fluky-type touchdowns. All right, here's Gerlich looking to throw. Got room, moves up, throws over the middle. It's going to be a incomplete pass, kind of rattled around there. Zayden Sharp looked like the ball might have hit the ground.
Big aspect of that is, as a receiver, you have to know where your officials are to really try to hide that. If you can just roll that shoulder over and break their line of sight, you maybe get away with one.
Yep. All right, here's Gerlich, 2nd and 10, Trojans. Looking to throw, throws over the middle, got Ed Small on the run. Ed Small cuts it upfield, bouncing forward to the 45-yard line of Anderson. It's going to be 1st down and 10 Trojans with 1:07 left. Now clock moving after the 1st down. Trojans getting the play in. Coach counter, a minute left. Clock is ticking. Trojans up 24-17 late in the 2nd quarter. Here's Gerlich. Throws it over the middle, got a man wide open. It's going to be a 1st down, Ben Hatcher. Ben Hatcher still up and running. He's going to go down. The clock will temporarily stop on the first down. Trojans got to be on the ball. 46 seconds left. Trojans moving steadily down the field, down to the 41 of Hendrickson. Now clock is up and moving, 40 seconds left. Here's Gerlich out of the shotgun, looking, throws, gets it over there, and Tristan Wadlick's going to go out of bounds. Good job by Tristan all the way down to the 30. It's going to be another first down by Anderson, but the clock's going to stop there with Wadlick going out of bounds. So the Trojans will have a little more time to get this play in with 30 seconds left and the clock stopped. Trojans steadily on the move. It sure would be good to punch it in here for a touchdown. 30 seconds left. 1st and 10 Anderson. Here's Gerlich looking to throw. Flares it out there. Jay Fulmer wide open, going down the sideline. Fights for the end zone, and it's a touchdown, Trojans. Well, that is an answer Anderson needed, and Jay Fulmer with that great speed down the sidelines. Great play call by Coach Counter, and the Trojans will answer, taking the lead, or keeping the lead, but 30-17 now, answering Hendrickson's 4th down conversion, pending Ryan Osbo's extra point. That's about as textbook a drive down the field as you'll see.
Well, and it's all set up, and the really good effort there to get out of bounds with those 30 seconds left. That stops the clock, saves a timeout, which you may have needed if you were not able to complete the flare out so wide open and so easy.
Yes, Ryan Osbo's kick is good. Trojans extend their lead to 31-17, 23 seconds left. And I think what you've got to be telling, Bo Holcomb's got to be telling the defense is, all right, guys, nothing over the top. But it'll be interesting to see what Hendrickson comes out and tries to do, whether they'll run the ball, kneel the ball, or try to make something happen deep. But I would bet my bottom dollar the Trojans are going to be in some sort of prevent, not allowing Hendrickson any more big plays.
Well, Hendrickson has 2 timeouts to work with here. That's 23 seconds, so you can do this a couple of different ways. What you're going to really have to do, you talk about not giving up anything deep. If you're Anderson, the other aspect of it is work outside in and really don't let them get to the boundary if you can help it, and force them to stay in bounds, bring them down there, keep that clock rolling, force them to have to use those 2 timeouts.
Yeah, we'll see. We've seen it all year. If they flip in, there's Osbo's kick, drops it right down there. The ball is still loose, fighting for it, but it's going to be recovered by Hendrickson. And if you're a Hendrickson fan, that was a little dicey with that ball running around free. Now with the ball at the 16-yard line, real interesting, but a well-executed kick there by Ryan Osbo. Good coverage by the Trojan unit, almost a recovery, which would have been really, really nice. But yes, Ben Hatcher, as I was talking about it, Ben Hatcher and Ed Small now into the game for safety help. But here comes the Trojan defense on the field. They're going to flare out there. It's going to be incomplete.
I think Anderson maybe have gotten away with one there because that late substitution, I don't know that the defender necessarily got off quite in time.
Yeah, I think, because it was my son, I'm pretty sure, I think he wasn't a sub. He just should have been out there, and he was still over there talking to his coach.
Well, but you had somebody run off at the same time.
Yeah, well, you could be right about that. You could, well, and you did at the safety. Labo came out. All right. He is looking to throw downfield. He is going to throw it high in the air and way out of bounds with 12 seconds left. So now with 3rd down, it'll be interesting to see if they go ahead and run the ball or kneel it here. Trojans in a big prevent. You can see it on your screen. They've got Grayson Lake way back, Ed Small way back, Liam McMillan way back, Ben Hatcher way back, and even Gage Webb about that 30-yard line. All right, they are going to give it up the middle. It's going to be a tackle there by the Trojan D, and the ball appeared to be loose. I think Hodges Smith knocked it out. Trojans do have the ball. There's 5 seconds left. So what a turn of events. Hodges Smith poked that ball out, and it's going to be recovered, I believe, by the Riv or Max Middleton or whoever. I love them all, but there's going to be a flag down. It looked like maybe after the play, hopefully on Hendrickson, and we'll get a better look at a field goal here.
Well, they're pointing at the Hendrickson sideline.
Okay.
If it is against Hendrickson, this becomes a really interesting decision because Anderson has a timeout, 5 seconds.
Yeah, it is.
Do you just load up and loft one?
And can you do it with
enough time?
Yeah, AISD clock operator, did we grease him before the game? What do we need to do to get that long 5-second play? We'll see, because it does get dicey and there's no replay, so you are gambling. But it does look like they're going to go ahead and bring on Ryan Ospo to kick it, which is probably the safe play here.
The conservative choice,
right.
And not necessarily the wrong choice,
right.
But in this stage, you're already up 14. There's no reason to be overly aggressive.
Yeah.
Just take the points.
Right.
Make this a 3-possession game going into the half, which is what we talked about, what you wanted and what Hendrickson needed to avoid when they went for it on 4th down earlier, got them the touchdown, and just haven't been able to keep Anderson at bay.
Ospo whistles, the kick is up, but I believe they did the old ice the kicker on Ospo and got the timeout before the snap, so they'll have to reset it to 5 seconds, and Ospo will have some time to think about this kick. All right.
His initial try was good. It would have been good from 30 from the looks of it, so we'll see if it does anything. The Anderson interesting side of it would be, does it change the decision at all? Now, it doesn't look like it will, but you never know. Every now and then, coaches will do that. All right, you want to ice the kicker?
Exactly.
Cool. We decide we want to go for it.
It's almost a punishment. Get them a little fired up and mad and decide we'll try to punch it in. But I do think that you're gambling with a pass. You are right with a second one timeout left. But anything other than a quick toss here, you're really gambling with taking points off the board on almost. All right, so Osbo will be on to kick again. With 5 seconds left in the second quarter, Trojans up 31-17 after the turnover on the final play of the drive by Hendrickson. All right, here's Osbo on the kick. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, kick is good. Well done, Trojans. Way to capitalize there, and that will take us to the half with your score, Anderson 34, Hendrickson 17. So after all the kind of back and forth and nervous moments, big plays for Hendrickson, pretty neat opportunity to get a turnover right before the half and capitalize with points.
Just a microcosm, really, of the way things have gone tonight for both sides. Anderson, they've put the ball on the ground a couple of times, but from the Hendrickson side of things, you haven't been able to capitalize on it. Now, Anderson side of it, they have capitalized. Where there have been turnovers outside of the one interception, the Trojans of Anderson have done a really good job at capitalizing when they have been presented with the opportunity. Yeah,
and I love it. Certainly these guys are in high school, and when there's a turnover, unfortunately, getting those guys right back in the game, being able to account for it, attest for it, whatever the good word is for being able to get redemption there. And I love seeing Jay Fulmer take it down the sidelines, get a touchdown. Again, it is tough when you got people swiping out the ball there, but really answering the call there and extending this lead. Trojans now out to a 34-17 lead, which is obviously a lot better than that 7-point game we've been at, and obviously a tie game. So a good start for the Anderson, a good first half, and they'll be looking to extend this and continue with those defensive stops, continue taking chances, trying to get turnovers. Really, in terms of Anderson football, this game's been a lot more turnovers than we've grown accustomed seeing. A lot of seniors on Anderson and really protected the ball well, but the defense also with interception by Haynes, the almost interception by McMillan, but the fumble recovery, a couple forced fumbles that we didn't recover, but trying to seize opportunities has been fun to see from this Anderson defense.
Yeah, and it's an Anderson team that right now is going up against a Hendrickson offense that has been, to put it quite plainly, a little bit sloppy in the ball control aspect. And so we talked about it coming in, and you highlighted it. Must win. Well, it's must win for both teams. You look across the field. And so Hendrickson, playing sloppy early on, going to have to find a way to overcome these mistakes and stop making them. That's a tall order against an Anderson team that offensively has been uber effective outside of 2 drives that ended in fumbles.
Yeah, you're hitting the nail on the head. The Anderson offense has not been truly stopped all night. It's almost self-inflicted wounds that have stopped the drives. But again, you're right. If you're Hendrickson right now, you're in that locker room trying to decide, how do we stop these guys? How do we stop Ed Small? How do we stop Wadlick? What do we do about Gerlich? Gerlich, again, breaking out of the pocket, making several big plays with his feet and his arm. And it's going to be a tall task for Hendrickson to keep them contained and get those much-needed stops to get back in the game. Well, when do we take the break? When the Anderson band's on here?
I'll take a break right now, and then we'll come back for Anderson.
All right. Well, with that, we will stop for 102.7 FM ESPN Radio for your commercial break. This is Anderson Football on Vype.com. We'll be back.
ladies and gentlemen, the Trojan Bells.
Of course, I'm right next to where the picks sucks. They had $1 million deal. Got leaked by
Trojan Bells would also like to thank the following businesses for their diamond level sponsorship: Austin Telco, Member Credit Union, Quattro Benefits, DNT Construction, Cook Brooks Johnson, and Golden and Martin. And now, to continue your halftime entertainment, please welcome Anderson's oldest and proudest tradition, the pride of Northwest Austin, your 2024 Trojan Marching Band. Drum makers for the Trojan Band are Sophia Sierra, Calvin Ortega, Changhua Lin. The band president is Ron Lurie, and the vice president is Lexi Bronson. The Trojan Band section of the week is the tubas. The members of the week are Lawrence Monk, Zaya Schwartz, Daniel Meza, Izzy Cochran. The freshman of the week is Edie Colbreth. The Anderson Band and Bells would like to wish the Hendrickson Band and performers good luck this marching season. Tonight, the Trojan Band will perform their 2024 competitive show entitled The Maze, with musical selections from Imogen Heath, Ivan Trevino, and Pat Metheny. Ladies and gentlemen, the Trojan Band. Trojan Band would like to thank the Anderson community for their generosity during our yearly Flamingoing fundraiser. We would also like to thank the following businesses for their sponsorship: the Lowy Law Firm, Westbrook Metals Inc. and Metals for You Inc., the Red Creek Society, Mr. Gaddy's Pizza, Austin Telco, Federal Credit Union, Julie Wade Electric, Nest Properties, Camelot Roofing, Redbud Mediation, AKS Photography, Cookie Joe Barbecue, Peace Connect, Slab Barbecue, Percent Bricks with Boston Orthodontics, Prosperity Bank, Buckland Orthodontics, and Reliant Plumbing. Thank you for your support, and go Trojans!
It's actually just water, but I dropped the sour stew. They're not sour stew. I dropped it. It's just water. I drank some of it. I said, I actually don't know the sour stew. The worst is like the worst thing. The only way you can sleep over, I think.
And we are back with the second half of the Anderson Trojan Hendrickson Hawk matchup. Again, a crucial matchup in this district. Anderson with a halftime lead, 34-17 over Hendrickson, in quite an exciting first half of football. Some turnovers both ways, some exciting plays, touchdown passes. But we're out again for the second half of action. Anderson looking to hit the nail on the head and finish off this feisty Hendrickson Hawk bunch with a couple of big plays of their own in the first half. But again, what we've seen from this Anderson team all year long is the offensive fireworks, and we saw it in the first half tonight.
Our radio audience will be catching up here in just a moment, but all of those who have stuck with us on the live stream part of it, you talk about the way this game has gone. Anderson puts themselves in a position where that first half, really outside of a couple turnovers, could not have gone any better. Now, I say that there were two turnovers, so
correct.
Clearly it could have gone a little bit better.
A little better.
But it's pretty hard to complain about the way that first half went down.
Yeah, and I especially like the fact that Anderson seemed to respond every time something went against them, and especially the way that first half ended, which the touchdown pass to Fulmer with just a few seconds left, and then creating a turnover right there on third down and capitalizing with a Ryan Osbo field goal.
Well, it's been the name of the game so far for Anderson, and it's really the one reason that they are ahead to the extent that they are over Hendrickson. Because keep in mind, we talked about it, we just mentioned it. Anderson's turned the ball over a couple of times too. The one difference is Hendrickson has failed to capitalize on those extra possessions. Anderson has not had that failure. They have capitalized each time they've gotten the extra turnovers.
Well, there is a great kickoff by Ryan Osbo, puts that English on the ball, bounces around there off the Hendrickson return man. Trojans almost getting another turnover on the kickoff. We'll watch that all the way through the game and see if we can get one of those. It's difficult to catch that ball bouncing around when it flails close to that boundary. All right, here comes the Trojan defense on in the 3-4, familiar 3-4 defense. Again, the Trojans open in a 4-3, and after a couple possessions, switch to this 3-4 look to counter the Hendrickson rushing attack. All right, Shotgun. That quick hitter over the middle. It's going to be caught. And a first down there. We saw that RPO. You talked about it early in the broadcast, David. And again, effective on that slant.
It's going to be the name of the game, I think, at this point for Hendrickson, which is keep running that, keep leaning on that, and keep forcing Anderson to dictate where you go with the ball, but taking advantage of the space that they give you.
All right, 1st and 10, Hendrickson from the 35-yard line. High snap, give up the middle, Gage Webb in there. I believe Hodges-Smith in there again. It's going to be a very modest game of about a yard or two. That middle has been plugged by the senior Webb and junior Smith so often. Hendrickson still, though, trying to establish the run here. All right, 2nd and 8, Hendrickson from their own 36-yard line. Another give up the middle. Not a lot of room to work with, and a big hit there again by the Trojan defense. Hodges-Smith and Gage Webb, rinse repeat, coming up from the inside linebacker positions, and it's going to be 3rd and 6 for Hendrickson. Empty backfield, we've seen this a lot with a run here, and it is going to be the run up the middle. He's going to have some room to work with, gets the first, just enough for the first down, and slides down. So we've seen it all night. Empty backfield. Got a cue on that quarterback.
It's a quarterback draw, drawn up pretty simply, and everybody else pass sets like any draw play. A little shoulder shrug, create that separation, that extra second where the defense has to stop and think and not react, and it buys time for the scramble.
All right, 1st and 10, Hendrickson. Another draw play. Coming wide, got a lot of room to work with. He's going to be out for another first down. So seeing some early success with the quarterback draw, and it's going to be another first down. Hendrickson down to the 39-yard line of Anderson. We'll see what Coach Holcomb dials up here to counter that effective quarterback draw run by Hendrickson. All right, 1st and 10, Hendrickson from the 39 out of the shotgun. Good snap, another draw. He's got room to work with. Coming down the sideline, down around the 15-yard line, still up before he's pushed out of bounds inside that 10-yard line. It looks like they're sealing off that Anderson defense on that left side, and a lot of room to work with.
Keep attacking. So you talk about them trying to establish a run and a lot of inside run early. Well, then the counter to that becomes you get the defense thinking inside, opens up the edge a little bit easier. And so last few plays for Hendrickson has been attacking the corner.
All right, 1st and goal from the 9. High snap. It's going to be a give inside. Little room to work with, still spinning all the way down to the 2-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and goal from the 2. So zone read look. Now having success for Hendrickson, and now moving quickly under center now. And it's going to be a quick sneak. And he's just pushing forward. It looks like he's going to still be short. So a good hold there by the Anderson defense. It's going to be about 3rd and goal. Sloan Keller back in the game. A little more beef on that D-line. They're going to go under center, and they're going to go quickly, and they're going to try it again. It looks like quarterback sneak, and it is that sneak, and the Anderson defense jumping over the top, but they're going to call a touchdown for Hendrickson. 2 consecutive quarterback sneaks, and finally into the end zone. So doing it himself on a impressive run by that Hendrickson quarterback. It's going to make this game a little closer here, pending an extra point. Good start by the Hendrickson offense. That's got to give them a lot of confidence moving the ball down the field after limited success running the ball in the first half. Oh, Colin Haynes almost jumped in there and blocked that, but the extra point will be good, and Anderson will have a 10-point lead with 8:12 left in the third quarter. Impressive drive there by Hendrickson. Hit one quick slant pass on first down of the drive, and then consecutive quarterback sneaks. And certainly Coach Holcomb over there is going to be dialing up something to stop that running attack by Hendrickson. Well, we're going to ask for it again, but this Anderson offense able to respond really almost all season long. And it would be nice to counter this right here with a Anderson drive and touchdown.
Well, nice little drive there for Hendrickson to come out, but it's easier to do coming out of the half, right?
Yep.
In the same way that at the start of the game, first drive usually scripted. Well, so is your first drive coming out of the half. It's when you get off script that you really get to see the genius of the offensive coordinator,
Correct.
the play caller, and the way that they adapt. Really good opening drive of the second half for Hendrickson. Closes that to that two-possession game. Nice little tush push there at the end to punch it in. But, like we said, we just talked about, nice opening drive because it's scripted.
Yes.
Let's see what the Anderson script is.
Let it go out of bounds. Good job, Ed Small, the senior there. Heady play. Ball kickoff coming to the boundary. Just lets it go out of bounds. Anderson will take it up there with excellent field position for the first drive for this Anderson offense. Starting out at their 30-yard line.
We'll see. We saw in that first half a lot of different looks. We saw early on it'd be a couple of inside runs, and then you'd start to open it up once you cross midfield. But the back end of the first half, we saw it a little bit the other direction. We saw them open it up and attack through the air a little bit more. It'll be interesting to see how they open up this third quarter offensively.
All right, twins on both sides of the ball for Anderson. Gerlich in the shotgun with Jay Fulmer. It's going to be a give to Fulmer. Nowhere to go, but he breaks away. Still up and moving, hanging on to that ball with dear life. He's going to have 6 yards on an impressive first down run by Jay Fulmer.
Fulmer's had a couple of those tonight where he looks contained initially, finds a back door, and gets out, picks up extra yardage.
All right, 2nd and 4. Another give to Fulmer, cuts through. He's going to be real close. I think he's going to have that first down. And they are going to move the change. First down, Anderson on a 4-yard run by Fulmer. 7:38 left in this third quarter. Anderson's first drive of the second half. 2 runs by Fulmer and a first down Anderson. Now setting up shop at their own 40. Here's Gerlich, fakes it, going looking long for Small. He's going to throw it way down there. It's Ben Hatcher, and a little handsy, but no call. Kind of a little pump over to Tristan Wadelick and trying to hit Hatcher over the top. Good coverage there by Hendrickson. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Anderson from the 40-yard line.
Nice opportunity there. Take advantage of a shot play. A couple runs, play fake. Just can't connect.
Trips to the right side. Give to Fulmer up the middle. Good tackle there. After a modest game, it looked like Fulmer had a hole, and then it was swallowed up quickly. It's going to be 3rd and 8 Anderson from their 42-yard line, 43-yard line, rather.
That was my thought. I thought he had a crease.
Yeah.
Was going to look like it would go for a big gain, first down and more. Well, like you said, Hendrickson does a good job. They collapse that lane right on top of him.
All right, 3rd and 8 Anderson. Gerlich looking to throw. Got plenty of time. Now moving out of the pocket. Rolling, looking, throws. Had Zayden Sharp right there in and out of his hands. He'd gotten behind the Hendrickson defense and in and out of his hands. Good pass by Gerlich, and it will be 4th down. Anderson punt unit on to kick here.
Well, first time tonight that Anderson's offense has stalled outside from the self-inflicted turnovers that we talked about coming out of the half. First time all night, Anderson has been forced to punt to Hendrickson.
Here is Liam McMillan on to punt. Looking good punt, high and deep. Fair catch signaled. He will gather it around the 20-yard line, so a good punt by McMillan. And the Trojan defense on for the second time. And the first real stop by this Hendrickson defense of the Anderson offense.
And that's a big motivation booster for Hendrickson. You get the stop after you get the opening drive touchdown. You go down, cut this to a 10-point game, an opportunity here for Hendrickson to really cut into this and make this a ball game once again.
Yeah, and it looks like the Trojan defense has flipped back into that 4-3, obviously getting a different look to try to stop that run game. All right, man in motion. Ball is fumbled, and Anderson is all over the quarterback. It's going to be a loss there. Apologies for that announcing. The man in motion actually hit the snap, fumbled on the ground, but right back up into the Hendrickson quarterback. So a lucky break there for Hendrickson, but a loss, or yeah, it's a loss of 2 on the play. All right, 2nd and 12, Hendrickson. Looks, quarterback fakes, he's looking to pass, he got a man a little open, and almost an incredible catch, but Alex Longoria sweeping over from the safety position to knock that ball away. Almost a circus catch there by Hendrickson, but knocked away. It's going to be 3rd and 12, Hendrickson.
You talk about nearly a circus catch, but also because of the way it was left up in the air, Anderson nearly comes away with another turnover here tonight. Would have been a very short field for their offense had they come down with it.
Very short field. Alex Longoria starting the second half at safety for Anderson. We've seen a bunch of these guys out here tonight and all season. All right, Trojan's going to bring pressure from the outside. Breaks a tackle, now moves outside. He's going to be getting the first down, and it just feels like, we talked about it earlier, Hendrickson brought pressure from one side, Anderson adjusted, and right there, a first down run when the Trojans looked like they had all the momentum. But a first down, Hendrickson on the 11-yard run all the way up to the 39-yard line.
Well, this is getting into a spot, and I get it. There, Anderson still has a lead, 5:51 in the third, so still a lot of time. But it's getting to a point that if you're a fan of Anderson, you really need to start feeling a little bit nervous, at least, with the way Hendrickson is coming out moving the ball early here in the third.
Definitely. All right. High snap. It's going to be a give up the middle, nowhere going. Hodges-Smith on the attack. Max Middleton in there. Lots of Trojans absolutely stoning that running back for Henderson. I agree. I can't believe you said it.
Well, and they're not doing anything fancy.
Exactly.
So it's the running game with the tailback is concerned. Anderson has that pretty shut down. It's the quarterback that they're having a tough time bringing down and keeping him in their grasp. So they go 4-down linemen, try to keep it a little bit manageable and make it easier to try and keep the quarterback contained.
All right, man in motion. It's the jet sweep look. All right, Labo coming up from the safety position, read it all the way, and it's going to be a modest game on the jet sweep. It's going to be 3rd and 8. And this is, David, what we've been talking about the whole time. You got to contain the quarterback on these long 3rd and 10s.
Well, it's exactly right. So Anderson is doing a really good job. The coverage downfield, for the most part, has been effective. The problem right now is that your pass rush either isn't able to stay in their lanes or they're creating lanes for Hendrickson's quarterback. At some point, Anderson may have to look at keeping a spy on.
Yes, definitely. All right, whistles.
It's going to be a procedural
yeah,
call.
It's got to be. Man in motion. Looked like everything was a little janky for Hendrickson. It's going to back him up 5 yards and be 3rd and 15.
So that orbit motion, that sweeping motion, it does a couple things. In that situation with the passing game, a lot of times you're getting the receiver involved in getting him on the move pre-snap. Now, on the jet sweep, it makes sense. You hand it to him, he's got a head of steam. But it works the same way in the passing game. He's got a head of steam, comes out of his break a little bit quicker, and it's harder for the defense to react. I'd be surprised if they go to that. This may be a straight drop back situation.
All right, Hendrickson, 3rd and 15. Straight drop looking, flares out a little screen pass. Liam McMillan with an absolute monster hit, open field tackle right at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 4th down and 15. That's the stop we were looking for.
Well, the mantra there for Hendrickson, most likely from a coaching standpoint or a teaching standpoint, is don't push it downfield. They're going to expect that. Instead, take what they're going to give you. Let's throw it short. We'll live and see if we can get half the distance and play it again on 4th down. What happens there is a simple little check down. Anderson maybe baits them into making that throw.
Ed Small on the return, plenty of room, dragging carriers. I knew it was going to be trouble for Hendrickson when that was a line drive punt right at Ed.
Right.
Ed, the former center fielder, we may still see him in college, but fielding it well on the run, gets about 25 yards on the return. It'll be 1st and 10, Anderson from Hendrickson territory, their 48-yard line.
1st and 10 on the 48 for the Trojans.
Anderson, it has been about 9 minutes since we last saw them put points on the board. Certainly would like to think that Gerlich and company can change that with this short field. Only 48 yards to pay dirt.
Yes, and your hope that the defensive stop there is going to translate a little momentum on the offense. Dom Mays straight up the gate, tough running, fast running. He's going to have a 1st down and a 12-yard gain by Anderson.
Well, with 3:13 left in the 3rd, Anderson, we're going to see a lot more of this, just a commitment to the running game to try and just chew clock.
All right, a son of a gun. We had a little trickeration going, and we got a little procedure. Kind of looked like Hendrickson on that last series. Sometimes when you have some, it looked like they were setting up a reverse to Ed Small, and we had a procedure here. So it's going to be 1st and 15. We'll see if counter goes back to it. Kind of showed our cards there.
Well, you had the man in motion, but the reverse man also moves a little bit early, and that's where your procedure penalty comes into play, is that early movement of everybody trying to get the timing of it just right. Just jump the gun maybe just a tad.
All right, 1st and 15, Anderson. Gerlich looking to throw. Got Ed Small all the way down the field. He's going to make a tremendous catch all the way down on the 4. It almost becomes repetitive how incredible these catches are.
Just lay it up for your best player right now on this offense, and Gerlich has done a great job of that all night. Put it high and outside where only your receiver can get it.
Ed Small, incredible catch, incredible Trojo, all the way down to the Hendrickson 5-yard line. We'll see if the Trojans can answer and extend the lead to 17. Here's Gerlich out of the power formation, looking, breaks away, looking downfield. He's going to get a flag. That is a great job by Ed Small. He was blanketed over the top, and clearly Hendrickson had a pull on there. It'll be a defensive holding and repeat 1st down, half the distance to the goal. But you saw Ed put his hands up in the air, showing the holding, and again got the call. All right, so it's going to be 1st and goal from about the 2.5-yard line. Anderson throwing out of that power set. H-back David Lopez in the game. Dom Mays still in at running back. We've seen both Dom Mays and Jay Fulmer tonight, both running hard. But it's going to be 1st and goal, Anderson from about the 3-yard line. Here is Gerlich. Man in motion is Small. Circles back. Small's going to take it under center, spins around and gets a touchdown, Trojans. So a little bit of triggeration. Give the ball to your best player under center snap. turns. Now there's a huge flag after the play. I don't know what happened.
Well, and that's the second flag that got thrown. One was thrown initially.
Well, and now look here, the Hendrickson whole coaching staff onto the field. Coach Counter onto the field, but it's gotten a little chippy under the radar, a little after the play flags, and almost exploded there. The Anderson team fired up on the sidelines there, but I was celebrating Ed's touchdown. I didn't see who got into it, but Ben Hatcher was down there. But it looks to be something on Hendrickson. I don't like that the Hendrickson coach is influencing the refs, but we'll see what they come up with. Obviously, multiple flags thrown there.
Yeah, one got thrown pretty quickly after the play ended, and Anderson had the touchdown. And then the second skirmish late leads to the second flag being thrown. So there's a little bit to sort out. The United Nations, of course, in session now as a result of that.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I love it. I think we've been tallying all season Ed Small's touchdowns, and he's thrown one, certainly caught some. That may be his first running touchdown. He's had a pick six, so we're going to try to see if we can get a punt return for a touchdown.
We're not quite at bingo yet,
Yeah,
but we're
not
filling
there.
up
We're
the bingo
getting close.
card.
We're getting close.
Still got a few weeks for him to do that, and right now Anderson 1:58 to go in the third. Extra point pushed this back out to 17. And again, the conversation we had earlier of for Hendrickson, can you just keep it in reach? And
All right, it's going to be unsportsmanlike on Anderson, unsportsmanlike on Hendrickson, and they're going to offset. Sometimes I like that, because
sometimes they just negate and
Right.
you wipe the slate clean. You did it. We did it. We'll just call a spade and try this again, so to speak.
A lot of people think, well, it doesn't really matter. What it does matter is they individually assess these penalties to individual players, and if you get two in a game, you're ejected, and I believe you're out another game.
Right.
So it does matter. It's not a toothless call, although it doesn't involve yardage. And I'm sure glad we're not kicking off from the 25 here.
Well, and because it offsets, like you said, it doesn't count against any one player necessarily, especially in a situation like that, where there's a little bit too many players involved to try and keep track of as the extra point goes through. And so to the earlier conversation, Hendrickson's offense has done, for the most part, about all it can to keep it within reach. The defense just has not held up its end of the bargain against a very potent and multifaceted Anderson offense tonight.
For sure. 1:58 left. Anderson up 41-24. One thing I liked about what happened there, Hendrickson took the ball all the way down the field, got really their first natural stop of the game, but the Anderson defense really created the momentum with a quick 3-and-out punt to Anderson, and Anderson responded. So it's a little good cop, bad cop, whatever you want to do. I can't announce it. It's terrible. But a good job by the Anderson defense stepping up when they needed to. All right, here's Osbo on to kick. Here is Osbo. We'll put it down there in that no man's land. It is going to be gathered down there around the 20. Alex Agoria circling and making the stick. So two safeties. It's getting real chippy on plays like that. A lot of late hits over there, a lot of pushing and shoving, a lot of talking. And it's going to be a flag on Hendrickson. I believe, they got him. Yeah, they got him right there. It got real chippy over there. Zach Sedlick was getting pushed, and a lot of talking, and Hendrickson's going to be an unsportsmanlike 15 there.
Well, we talked about this being a must-win, and so when you create that atmosphere and you put high school athletes in these tense situations, they both know what's at stake. Both the teams know what's going on. They're not foolish. They're not ignorant. They're on social media. They're checking it, in class, in study hall or what have you. Like, they're paying attention. They know what's going on. They know what the stakes are coming into tonight. Well, when you have that environment, emotions are going to run high. Tensions are going to run high. On the Hendrickson side of things, all it takes is one look at the scoreboard to know a lot of it is born out of frustration, that they don't feel like there should be this much of a gap between these two teams.
For sure. And that frustration starting to spill over. Good tackle there by Alex Longoria in the open field. Rowan Erickson down there as well. So you got a lot of safeties on that kid coverage in. All right, 1st and 10. Trojans still on the 4-3. It's going to be a zone read. Nowhere going. Hodges Smith, the River Anderson. And a host of Trojans stopping him for a 2-yard gain.
So the 4-3 and the 3-4, for the fans at home who you know, what are the difference? Well, we'll get into it maybe after the snap.
All right, it's going to be a give up the middle. Little room to work with, but Gage Webb coming up, the senior, with a heck of an open field tackle.
So a lot of times you have 4-3, 3-4, 3-down linemen versus 4-down linemen. Well, the advantage of the 3-4 is when you bring that fourth rusher, you get to mix up where that fourth guy is coming from. That keeps the offense guessing. The flip side to it is, offensively, it's a lot easier to pick up running lanes and find where to go with it. Conversely, on the 4-3, it's a lot easier to eat up blocks with 4-down linemen than it is with 3.
All right, 3rd and 7 here for Hendrickson. It's going to be that zone read. Keeper gets outside, but he's going to be wrapped up there for a no gain or a gain of 1. Hodges Smith in there. And Calvin Ballinger. And it's going to be a 4th down. Hendrickson's going to be forced to punt here, so it looks like another good stop by this Trojan defense. Really feeling it out there. And Hendrickson's going to have to punt from deep in their territory. You wonder if we're going to have punt safe on. You got to block. It always makes me nervous. I'm a nervous announcer. But it looks like the quarter's going to end here with 5 seconds. And Anderson up 41-34. We'll see. I doubt they get it off. They're not. All right. With that, we are going to go on the radio broadcast to our commercial. Again, this is Vype.com football, Central Texas football, and you're listening to 102.7 FM ESPN Radio, Austin, Texas. We'll be back. And we are back for the 4th quarter. Anderson Trojans up 41-24 over Hendrickson. Hendrickson facing a 4th and 6 in punt formation to start this 4th quarter. Ed Small back around his 50. Had a great return. I wanted the punt return for a touchdown, but I'm greedy. All right, here's the punt. It's going to be a fake as they bring it outside. He's got room to work, and he will get a 1st down, and Moore still on his feet. He's going to be brought down around the 36-yard line. So coming out of the break, a gutsy fake punt called. The punter with a tough run picks up about 25 yards all the way up to the 37 of Hendrickson and a 1st down.
Well, you talk about it being gutsy. 17-point game going into the 4th quarter. You had the break between quarters to talk about it. And it felt like something Hendrickson had to do.
Yep. All right, high snap, looking to throw. Now moves outside. Here comes Gage Webb tracking. He's going to be pushed out of bounds for about 2 yards. So a nice job by Gage Webb. Looks like these linebackers are keying on him. You wanted to spy earlier. Looks like we may have our linebackers kind of staying home, protecting against that quarterback run. It's going to be a 3-yard gain and 2nd and 7 for Hendrickson.
Well done by the Anderson defense. Just not allowing him to turn upfield and get more than a few.
All right, high snap. It's going to be that slant's been good all night. And Colin Haynes forced to make a open field tackle, but that slant's been there on the RPO, and they've executed almost every time. It's going to be another first down for Hendrickson.
A lot of it is Anderson trying to respect the speed of Hendrickson, playing a soft coverage, and it allows for that inside leverage offensively.
All right. Handoff up the middle, little room to work with. Big hit there, but a lot of yards for the Hendrickson offense. Gets about 4 yards, but a big hit there. Hodges Smith in there, Gage Webb in there, but about a 4-yard gain. It's going to be 2nd and 6 Hendrickson from the 39-yard line of Anderson. High snap. Quarterback rolls to the right. River Anderson chasing. Trojans all over him. It's going to be a huge sack for the Trojan defense all the way back to midfield. Boy, River Anderson, great job getting in there. Gage Webb in there. Max Middleton, that formidable defensive line of Anderson, finally getting through for a big, big sack. It's going to be 3rd and 17 for Hendrickson. All I got to say is spy this quarterback on the run and no blown coverages.
Well, so a couple things here. Right now, Anderson playing that soft coverage still. Corners are about 8 yards off the ball right now.
It's going to be a little screen pass developed over the middle, and it's going to be almost high pass. There were about 3 blockers on Hodges Smith, but it almost went in his hands. But it's going to be 4th and about 17, and they still have the offense, and we'll see what they do here.
Have to go for it, I think, if you're Hendrickson with the time left, only 9:39. Good design, just unable to execute.
Yeah, Ed Small back there at center field at safety on this 4th down. All right, he's going to throw it over the top. Lots of Trojans down there. Good coverage by Grayson Lake. Atta baby. Grayson Lake down there. And Alex Longoria downfield. A nice job by the Trojan defense. Turnover on downs, and they needed it there after that fake punt.
Yeah, the fake punt gets a lot of momentum. Hendrickson, that just particular sequence, a little bit of confusion in terms of the way they went about it. So that slant, like you mentioned, has had a lot of success tonight. Now, I'm not saying you need to try and run that particular play the entire way. Anderson will sniff it out at some point. But to not lean on any of the quick game, trying to air it out too far, created the opportunity for Anderson.
All right, here comes Jay Fulmer running wide, trying to get the edge, turns it upfield nicely, gets a couple extra yards there, and a gain of about 3 yards for Anderson. Keeps the chains moving keeps the clock moving. 9:18 left in this 4th quarter. Anderson up 41-24 over Hendrickson. It's going to be 2nd and 6. Anderson still moving kind of quickly. We'll see if counter slows them down. They do not. It's going to be a screen throw back to Ed Small. He's just going to throw it away right there. Looking for Jay Fulmer deep. That's that play Hatcher told me about with Fulmer streaking down the field. Fulmer covered there. It was a throwback screen. Ed Small looking deep. Really no one there. Smartly throws it out of bounds. Saves some yards. It's going to be 3rd and 6. Anderson from the Hendrickson 46-yard line. Here's Gerlich. Hands it up the middle. Jay Fulmer's got room. He's got a first down and more. So a nice little draw play to Jay Fulmer and a first down for Anderson. They keep the ball and the chains moving.
Well, and more importantly, with a first down in the run, it keeps the clock moving as well for Anderson.
All right, 8:44. Small takes the little pop in front. He's got room to work. He's going to move down the field. Still going, still going. Trojans touchdown, Ed Small. A lot of Trojo there, and I don't mean to say it, that could put it away for these Trojans. Ed Small, great tough running on the shovel pass from Gerlich, coming across, and a 44-yard touchdown run by Ed Small, bringing the score to Anderson 47, Hendrickson 24, pending the Ryan Ospo extra point. Now, Ed's got a hold here, and he's breathing a little hard. He had a tough run, broke some tackles, went all the way down the field, but he's back there ready to do it. All right, kick is up. He hammers it through, and the Trojans take a impressive lead, 48-24 over Hendrickson. So another good job by the Anderson defense getting the stop. Anderson offense converting pivotal third downs and finishing with an Ed Small 44-yard shovel pass touchdown.
Well, that should be the proverbial nail in the coffin for Anderson. Way Hendrickson's night has gone so far just offensively, they haven't really been able to push the ball downfield. We just talked about it. They haven't had the time in the pocket for them to really try and air it out against this Anderson front seven that has been persistent and aggressive in getting into the backfield, frustrating this Hendrickson offense. That means they're going to have to keep it on the ground. Well, by doing that, you're chewing up clock. So you have to pick one. Do you run the risk of having plays blown up by an Anderson defense, or do you try and run the ball and run that risk? Either way, it'd be very difficult to come up with 24 unanswered in these 8 minutes.
All right, Hendrickson on the return. He's got a lot of room to work out there right side. He's going to plow through Ryan Ospo, Tate Haynes over there, and a nice return there. There was a shift right before the kick, obviously moving from deep position to the up back, so a smart move by Hendrickson and getting that wall return, and a nice return there out to the 47-yard line. But it's going to be 1st and 10 Hendrickson, 8:25. Clock is becoming a factor for them, down 48-24 to Anderson. All right, it's going to be the quarterback draw. He's got a little room to work with. Breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet. Tripping down all the way down to the 28-yard line. So they're back to the quarterback sneak and effective yardage. A couple missed tackles there by Anderson. 1st and 10, Hendrickson from the 28 of Anderson. Give to the running back. Liam McMillan there, Gage Webb. Modest gain for Hendrickson, but Hendrickson moving quickly. About a 4-yard gain. So right there at the 25-yard line will be 2nd and 7, Hendrickson. Clock is moving, 7:45 left. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. Nice job by the Trojan D right there. Max Middleton from his defensive end position, turning it up. And I believe, I could be wrong on the hit there, Gage Webb with the attacking linebacker play. It's going to be a no gain and set up 3rd and 7. But Middleton turned it in and Gage followed it up. All right, Hendrickson moving quickly, 3rd and 7. Out of the shotgun, man in motion. It's going to be that quarterback sneak, got a little room to work with. Going to be dragged down by Gage Webb there and Liam McMillan. And he's going to get about a yard. It's going to be 4th down. Webb is going to pop out of the game. Mark Heatley into the game, a junior linebacker. Nice job by Gage Webb there. Trojans now, here comes Gage back in. He's all right.
There is a flag back at the 10.
Yeah, that's a strange place, and they're huddling about it. Usually you don't see it on a run. From the back judge, some flag on the field. Personal foul on Hendrickson. And it's going to back them up 15 yards here. So what would have been a 4th and 7 looks to be 4th and a lot. So I don't know if that was a dead ball or something, but it's going to move them all the way back to the 40-yard line. And I don't know if it was dead ball. Yeah, it is going to be 4th down here for Hendrickson. Absolutely have to go for it here. But it's 4th and 22 from the Anderson 40. Out of the shotgun. Looking, Trojans bringing all kinds of pressure. Throws all hit, almost picked off there, but it's going to be incomplete. Trojans bringing all kinds of pressure. Hodges, Smith, Gage, Webb, Max Middleton, all back there, and it was almost picked off there, I think, by Lebo. But either way, it is a turnover on downs. Anderson takes over with 6:45 left in the ball game, up 48-24 over Hendrickson.
Well, that, barring some kind of disaster from the Anderson side of things, should really resolve this and put this to bed. Anderson now an opportunity. They manage this just right, can close this out here and now with this drive and lock up. Like we had talked about this coming into tonight, must win to keep that playoff conversation relevant. And I would say,
all right, a little reverse here. Zayden Sharp got plenty of room to work with. Cuts it outside, but he's going to be tripped up. Nice open field tackle there, but not after Zayden gets about 7 yards. Had a lane, but got tripped up there.
Well, it was the same reverse that it looked like they tried to run earlier before the illegal procedure penalty comes back and bites them. This time they do run it. You can see why they wanted to run it earlier. Picks up 7.
Picks up 7. All right, here is Gerlich. He's going to turn, hand it to Dom Mays. Dom Mays close to the first down. He's going to be about a yard short, but clock is moving with 6:06 left in the ball game. Going to be 3rd and 1 Anderson from the 49-yard line. Trojans have to reach the 50 for a first down. Trojans taking their time a little bit more offensively here as the clock keeps moving. Small in motion. Gerlich takes it, fakes it, going to throw it out to Small, trying to get forward for yards. He's going to be dropped for a loss of 1. Clock will continue to move with 5:30 left. It's going to be about 4th and about 2 or 3. We'll see what the Trojans decide to do here. I think they could probably take this clock down to the 5-minute mark, maybe call timeout, and decide at that point. Trojan offense still out on the field.
They'll most likely try and get Hendrickson to flinch.
Yes. Gerlich's been good on that hard guy, and they will go for it. Gerlich looking, throws high and over the outstretched arms of Zayden Sharp. Just a little high there. So are you surprised by that? I mean, 4:58, you've got a 24-point lead. I guess you want to maybe get that first down and salt it away, and Gerlich's been so consistent all year.
I think it's more the play call or the design itself that I think might have confused me more. You had so much success running the ball between Daly and Fulmer. I don't know why you just don't go back to him and ask him to pick it up. You've had the success of being able to do it so far tonight. Trust your line. Trust him to get that push up front. They don't, right read by Gerlich, just can't convert.
All right, going deep, got a man. Almost another catch, but Alex Lingori is going to knock it away.
A really good read, just trying to attack vertical seam.
Coach Napoli down here asking how many yards Ed Small has. He's got a lot, is what I told him. I'm not a statistician, but another nice play by Alex Longoria. That's 2 PBUs by Longoria, and the safety. He's been in safety all this second half. Some good open field tackling and some good pass breakups. All right, 2nd and 10. Man in motion. They're going to run a quarterback draw again. Trojans totally, absolutely containing him. Pierce Miller, Mr. Clean, turning it in and making the play, and it's going to be a big loss there. So a nice job by the Anderson defense. They've adjusted well.
Well, there's just nowhere to go, and so dancing around trying to find any kind of crease, and at some point you as a quarterback have to know, look, there's nowhere to go, just commit and move forward.
All right, big pressure. Gage Webb knocks it out. Ball on the grip, going to be recovered by Anderson. Gage Webb with a massive hit, blitzing from the outside. Max Middleton with the recovery. Textbook linebacker blitz, fumble, and recovery by Anderson. And if you didn't think that would do it, I think that'll do it.
That should do it. Well, and Anderson, give them credit, right? We've harped and we've gushed over the offense here tonight for what they've been able to accomplish. And the simple fact that outside of 2 plays, mistake-free football, they've been efficient, they've been effective. But give credit to a defense that has held Hendrickson to 24 and has really made life miserable in that backfield for whoever has touched the ball here tonight for this Hendrickson offense. I mean, this front 7 for Anderson really deserves a lot of the credit for the win tonight.
Yeah, 100%. And, that's the kind of thing that as you go and play a Weiss and whatever, getting momentum defensively. All right, Gerlich's going to be back there passing. He's going to flare it out there outside the tackle box and just throw it away there to avoid the grounding. But Gerlich, a little gimpy. I don't like it. He's signaling that he's okay, but he got knocked down after that. I think let's go ahead and run the ball a little bit.
Trying to catch him by surprise and, maybe worked initially, but nowhere to go with a football. Gerlich wisely gets rid of it. Maybe should have done so a half second sooner.
All right, Dom Mays in motion. Fakes a screen over there. He's got Wadelick. Wadelick cuts. Wadelick still up and running. Wadelick spinning and moving down the field all the way down to the 27-yard line. So a nice play there by Gerlich, faking what would be a screen to Dom Mays in motion, turning around and hitting the senior Tristan Wadelick in a nice run after the catch for a Trojan first down.
Well, it's a tunnel screen, but I'm a little surprised they're still slinging this.
Yeah, I know. All right, there's Dom Mays on the run. Got room to work with. He fumbles again. Ball's on the ground. Trojans will recover this one.
Felt like that one came out maybe a little bit late.
Yep.
Surprised they let that go and didn't rule him down. The good news about it, Anderson keeps possession. Time does still tick away.
3:15 left. Trojans up 48-24 here from House Park. Trying to work the clock down to another Trojan victory here. Here's Gerlich looking to pass. Flares it out there to Dom Mays, who drops it. Kind of a tough over the shoulder, but he had a little room to work with and drops it. It's going to be 3rd and 11 for the Trojans. They're down deep in Hendrickson territory.
It's one of those, they float it and as a running back, it's over the shoulder. It's nice touch by Gerlich. It's one you are expected to pull in. That's expected to be routine.
Yep. All right, here's Gerlich, 3rd and 11, throws over the middle. Ed Small's got it. Ed Small all the way down to the Trojan 6. Boy, that is Martin Automatica hitting Ed Small, streaking across the middle down to the 6-yard line, and a first down Trojans with 2:53 left on the clock.
I'm a little surprised by the aggressive decision-making here from the play call standpoint by Anderson. Game well in hand. You would expect them to just want to salt away clock and Instead, the mantra has been, you know what, let's go get some more points.
Yeah, and you have to wonder if some of this, as the game got chippy, we don't know what was said or what was done. And, you always wonder, too, if you want to make a statement to the district. All right, shovel pass. Ben Hatcher got room to work. Nice fake. And into the end zone. They're going to rule him down at the 1. Let me get my official bash of the day, but it always feels like those officials want to be I'm so into the game. I thought he clearly went over, but this is a homer call, so I apologize. But he's going to stop him at the 1. 2 minutes left. It's going to be first down and goal from the 1. Nice little stutter step by Hatcher. Trojans are taking their time here, but obviously the gas pedal is still down. Now there's going to be whistles. And there's going to be a timeout. Hendrickson, are you a little surprised? I mean, it's like it's a 7-point game.
It's the last possession for Anderson felt kind of like what we would have expected, which is run the ball, let's put this away. I don't know if something was said then in the interim, if there's something that Hendrickson did that signaled to the Anderson coaches that we want to run this up. Is it just a desire to put up 50?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
do know between coaches and programs, a lot of times they go back and forth. If they're going to keep trying to go for broke or blitz or do whatever, a lot of it depends on what the defense is giving you. So if that defense continues to blitz, it almost forces you, we're going to throw now. And you wonder if that was happening to make Anderson say, you know what, if you're going to keep doing this, we're not just going to kneel it or run it. We're going to go for the end zone.
Yeah, and this is the kind of stuff that breeds into and bleeds into rivalries.
Yeah, it does.
At this level and can sort of brew some bad blood between programs that you hung 50 when you didn't need to. Well, the game was in hand and you're still playing like it isn't. So, each side, it's a Hatfields and a McCoys.
Yeah. All right, there's Gerlich giving him a little taste of their own medicine. He's going to be in for the touchdown whether they call it or not, and they do. So
a little tush push.
Yeah, a little tush push. It's become a pretty effective play. The Jalen Hurts tush push, Reggie Bush push, straight up the middle and a touchdown for Max Gerlich, bringing the score to Anderson 54, Hendrickson 24 with 1:36 left in the ball game. I do know this. Sometimes these schools playing on Friday night, you're looking at the schools down the pipe that Anderson's going to play, Hayes, Lockhart, and certainly Weiss. And you want Weiss to know we're coming too. And so there are statements being made every week. Certainly Anderson making their claim in this playoff race. Neil Diamond in the background. House Park. Sweet Caroline.
We talk about Weiss, and at this point, not to overlook, Hayes and Lockhart, but really all focus does now sort of shift to you come out of this game as a crowd getting into it here, band of course. You come out of this, you get the win over Hendrickson, you hang 50. You've done your part. You've won the must win. Well, now your focus sort of shifts.
Yeah, it does.
To the next must win, which is that Weiss game, which is as big of a game in the Austin-Pflugerville area as any coming down the pipeline. Of course, Westlake, Lake Travis coming up in the next couple weeks, so you still have that.
It's an exciting time to be involved in high school football.
Well, and we're getting into that part of the season. This is the leg of the season where you know who everybody is, you know what the teams are and what they offer.
All right, Osbo's going to get chewed up for that one. Just kind of hooks it out of bounds. He's been kicking it down to the right side of the field, but he kind of just got it up there in this downtown Austin wind and a little hook.
Oh no, did cheerleader say something with something said from the marching band? Because he hooked it right in their direction.
Looked like some of my drive yesterday.
We talk about tensions and we talk about messages being sent. Is the kicker getting in on it now?
Yeah.
It's a little shot across the bow.
That's right. All right. It's going to be 1st and 10 Hendrickson. 1:36 left. Anderson up 55-24. New quarterback in for Hendrickson here. Looking to throw. Flares it over there. Nice pass and catch, but Colin Haynes is all over him after a 9-yard gain. That slant's been effective for Hendrickson. Here, though, Colin Haynes with a quick tackle, and actually they're going to get a first down here, but a 10-yard gain. 1:19 left. Clock is still moving. Another quick pass out of the side. Colin Haynes with a big hit. Trojan sideline wanting an incomplete pass, but it will be complete, and set up a 2nd and 6 for Hendrickson. Under a minute left here. Trojans up 55-24 over Hendrickson. 2nd and 7. Fake inside. Nice gain over there on the short pass, but it's going to be another first down. Grayson Lake with the tackle. Clock moving, 35 seconds left. Hendrickson at the Trojan 48-yard line. Out of the shotgun, looking. Trojans bringing pressure, steps up in the pocket, flares it up there, kind of into no man's land. It's going to be incomplete, and 2nd and 10 with 23 seconds left in the ball game.
A little surprised you mentioned, Hendrickson pulling their quarterback, and little surprised that we hadn't seen Hendrickson really wave the white flag sooner, given the score, and get your starters out of there, keep them healthy going into next week. Don't risk injury. Yep.
All right, it's going to be give up the middle. Trojans kind of in a prevent. They're going to have about 9 yards there, but there's going to be a tackle there for Anderson, but it's going to be 3rd and 1. Tackle there by Hudson Case. All right, going deep, over the top. Good coverage there, step by step. Grayson Lake's got to love that. Very excited. Good play there, and that's going to be the ball game. Your final score, Anderson 55, Hendrickson 24, and a solid win by this Anderson program. A must win. David said it earlier. We said it before the broadcast, during the broadcast, and in the fourth quarter. A must win by Anderson, and they deliver.
Big win, big program win for Anderson, and Hendrickson, hats off from an offensive perspective, trying to keep pace. Your defense just could not come up with an answer for this Anderson offense that just did it all tonight, and we saw it in a lot of different phases and a lot of different facets from Anderson, both on the ground, through the air, short, deep passes. Hendrickson never really recovered from that opening drive when Anderson showed him everything, so to speak. And, Hendrickson, of course, offensively, their own struggles, some of their own shortcomings. It just was not enough. And despite Anderson gifting a couple of other opportunities through turnovers, Hendrickson just could not capitalize. Anderson could. And that really became the difference maker, at least early, and then down the stretch, you just saw Anderson pull away, again in part by that front seven of Anderson that terrorized that Hendrickson backfield.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a statement game by the Anderson Trojans. They needed this one. They got it. Emphatic victory by the Anderson team. Faced some adversity. Again, that offense clicked all night long, and that defense really stepped up when we needed it to. And again, we'll roll into next week against Cedar Creek, and Trojans looking to continue this streak of wins, but a impressive win, no doubt, for the Trojan team fighting for that playoff berth, much desired by these coaches, these players, and these communities.
Comes the conversation of Hayes, Lockhart coming up next on the schedule, and then, of course, as talked about, that big game against Weiss still on the horizon.
Yep, to end this season there. Should we cut for a commercial, come back and wrap it up? Do we need to?
You can send it to commercial if you'd like and call it a night. It's up to you.
Well, it's up to, well, let's hold on 1 second. What is your take on this, Anderson? This is your first time to really dig deep and see them. What's your takeaway?
I think you have a team with, we talk about the seniority and the senior leadership. It's a really good group in that respect. Offensively, it's a squad that, as we talked about, you can do it all. You can run it, you can air it out both deep and short. You have enough playmakers. I think that defense, that front seven, makes up for what, could be maybe some questionable coverage on the back end. We'll see if Weiss may be able to try and take advantage of that, but that front seven really can cover up for that secondary if there is a weakness back there. Hendrickson wasn't able to really attack it. Their offensive line couldn't hold up. The question now becomes, can Weiss?
Yeah, 100%. And it really, if you're the Anderson coaching staff, you got to preach to these kids every week, because every week you cannot afford to slip up to varying degrees, but you want to keep getting better as a team, shoring up the defensive backfield. You brought it up. Shoring up everything you do. Protect the football. Win the games you're supposed to win, and then let it all hang out against Weiss at the end of the year.
That's going to be the big question, I think, and we'll see Weiss when we come to it at that point in the game. But talented win, big win tonight for big Anderson, 55-24.
Trojan football, thanks you for stepping in tonight. We appreciate it. We had the voice of the Trojans, a real treat here tonight, and we thank our radio audience at 102.7 FM for being with us all night. This has been Trojan football presented by Vype. We'll see you next week.